Welcome, viewers. You're listening to Phalok Hootie here. I don't know if I said his name wrong. Whatever. What I'm making this video for is to show you the sites that I like related to gaming. Being a person who plays a lot of old games, these are the sites that I find useful. First off is replacementdocs.com, and here if you go to download manuals from the main menu, which is where we started here, but that's not where you'll go if you go to the main menu, then you can search for any game you want. And for these old games, say if you buy a game from Amazon.com or if you buy a game from eBay and it doesn't come with the manual, it's okay. As long as the manual is on here, and they have a lot of manuals on here, which basically the users of the site, being awesome as they are, have uploaded their PDFs of their own manuals. So you're not SOL, and you know, a lot of these old games require the manual for copy protection. So you could search, you could do a Google search for a lot of these games and find probably tables of solutions for the copy protection, but there's also a lot of cases where, for instance, for Wake of the Ravager, Shattered Lands, 2 Advanced Dungeons & Dragons games for the PC, you can download the clue book, which is something that you might not have had even when you originally got the game. I remember when I got Wake of the Ravager back in the day, I did get the clue book with it, but it was also on PDF. So here's another site, squeaknetcom. I think this is a great site, especially for finding old school RPGs, and they'll give you information. As you can tell by the stars over here, they have ratings on all the games, and you know, I mean, if you've been doing games, old school games, for a while, there's a fair chance that none of this stuff is going to be new news to you, but since I mentioned Dark Sun, we can click on this and see this. It'll have information on Wake of the Ravager. All this information is stuff you probably already knew, but I don't know, I guess it could be interesting to you. Good things they have, where to download it. So a lot of places where you can find it. They'll tell you if it requires a membership to download the file or what have you, which sometimes there can be degrees of that. Like maybe you can download part of it without a membership, but you might still need some of it. It depends. So this will also see they sometimes link to replacement docs from here, so this could be a central place that you could go, possibly, to find information on things, which is part of why I find this site so cool. Also, I just find it reliable, whereas a lot of other sites with comparable content are going to bog down your computer with a lot of banners and a lot of pop-ups, and a lot of times they don't have reliable information. See, there's a banner all the way down there, but it's not too bad. Obviously, GameFAQs. I don't think I have to explain this one, and I doubt that there's anybody who's watching this video who's never been to GameFAQs, but obviously most of the things you're going to find on here are probably somewhere else too. It's just up to the individual person whether or not they want their FAQs to be on here. Of course, most of them aren't actually FAQs, but these days we pretty much just accept that everything, you know, that's going to be on there is can be called an FAQ, even though it's a walkthrough or a map or what have you. So for this, you see they have not much stuff for this particular game. You might have to do a Google search on that to find more information, but there's not really much you need, since you can get the clue book from replacement docs or what have you. Right now, GameFAQs seems to be showing one of its not so great sides, bogging down my computer. Here is another one of my favorite sites, abandonware-paradise .fr. See, obviously by the .fr, you know that it is a French site, so a lot of the site is in French, but I think not as much of the site. The site used to be almost entirely in French, and now it's not as hard to find or figure things out. If we type in Wake of the Ravager, we'll see. It'll load up here. Let's see. Let's see, we didn't find anything. But we could also go demonstrate from here, which is it's sort of ironic because actually I'm gonna show you the Abandonware-Paradise page for Wake of the Ravager, but the copy that they have works, but you won't have any music. For Wake of the Ravager, you're pretty much gonna have to buy it. I mean, it's just an example. Sometimes you have to buy these things because they have because they need to work with the CD to do the CD sound. And something like Dark Sun 2, you're just not going to find a CD rip online. So, anyway, I mean, it's not too bad. It's not too bad to find it. It's not old enough or rare enough. It's not like some of these games that are like $80 if you want to try to buy it online. So obviously, this used to be more difficult. Now it says download now. So it's quite a lot simpler. It used to say télécharger, which if you're not French, it wouldn't be obvious that that means download. Since it sounds like something you'd have to pay money because it says telecharge a, you know? So, not knocking on the French. French was my minor in college, so that's how I learned what the word télécharger means. Alright, so that's how you use that site. It's your best bet is probably to link from here. The main thing I like is that the files on Abandonware-Paradise seem to be pretty good. They're generally not they don't have viruses. They're generally valid. They're not, you know, messed up. The oldcomputer.com, I get a lot of good files from here. It's a good place to find abandonware ROMs if you're gonna go there. Obviously, this is not as clean of a site as some other ones. You have your obligatory racy banner there that seems to pop up on all kinds of video game sites. I don't know what that says that web designers think about us, but I'm sure it's our own fault in some sense, right? Let's see, what do we got? If we look at PC abandonware, and like I said, this isn't as nice in terms of just being very friendly because there's pop-ups and all kinds of stuff and racy banner ads, and the thing that makes me most annoyed about any website, obviously, moving banners and stuff, because they take up so much of your computer's resources to an extent that really doesn't even make any sense. So I'm just going to close that. The last one is Emulator Zone. Assuming you're going to play with your own cartridge or something, you can use an emulator, right? So all of these, it lists a lot of options. Anything above Sony PlayStation, in my experience, you're probably not going to find a workable one. There's one that works for PlayStation 2. My computer is not strong enough for that, unfortunately, but there's a lot of good ones that work here. It's just a good central place to find emulators. So that's a lot of good places that you can start from to find the things that you might need. So that concludes my tour of gaming websites that I like, my favorite ones. And this is Bezlanier signing off.